Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to the Fedora Academy. Okay, so last time I show you how to code the feeding pad and also the killer part so that you can create a obby game like this. Okay, so today I'm going to show you how we can add the moving parts so that you can create the actual challenging and fun parts for the obby game so that you can bridge from the level 1 to the level 2. Okay, so let me quickly demonstrate the moving parts. Okay, so let's play here. Okay, okay, so you can see the parts is moving up and down. Okay, so I jump to this pad and jump to this pad. Then I have to wait this one coming here. Okay, I have another part is coming back in force. Ooh, I failed. So I have to wait. As you can see that this part is not only moving up and down, and also uh, a little bit on the Z direction. Okay, so I have to wait until a proper timing for it. But as a demonstration, you can see that all the parts are moving. So that's what we are going to create today. Okay, so I want to try it again. Let's see. Jump to this pad. Okay, and wait this pad. Okay, this pad is ready. Okay, and now I need the timing correctly to wait this pad is coming down so that I can capture. Yes, good. And I have to keep moving. Okay, now, oh, almost. Okay, now I arrived at the second level. Okay, so, okay, yeah. I'll show you how to code this moving parts. Okay, so first let's stop the game. Okay, so first let's create a part. Okay, a block here. Okay, I want to change a little bigger so that later I can jump on it. So, okay, lift it up a little bit. Okay, now I call this a moving part. Moving part. Okay, and then I add a script. Okay, for this script, of course, the first is the reference. We need to define the part we're going to move, right? So let's call it a moving part. Where is the moving part? Is script dot parent. Okay, and we need to anchor it. So moving part dot anchored equals to true. Okay, so to make the parts moving, there are multiple ways, but today I'm going to show you how to use a function called tween to change the position of the part. The tween is a Roblox Studio internal function. Okay, so simply put, that's how we understand. So let's call this called a tween service. Okay, so we service. Okay, so we need to get this service. So game colon get service get, yes, get service, right? And then quote tween 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 service. Okay, so as you can see that these keyword are capital letters like a get service. So G is capital letter and tween service is a keyword, so capital T. And I use I give them name. So this small t tween service is a name I give to this tween service because I'm going to use this one quite often. So I need to uh, use my naming system. So I call it a tween service. Okay. So of course, for a part to move from one location to another location, and we need to define the start position and the target position, right? So That's very easy to understand. I hope that makes sense to you. So let's call it start position. Where is the start position? So I want to make this easier. For me, wherever I put this part in the game window, that's the start position, right? So how we can get the position of this part? Of course, you can check the properties. If you go down to the transform, you see the position here, right? So under the C frame, you see the position. So that's the position in the world space where this part is located. Okay, this is a unique one for this part. Basically, every part you created in the game window, they have a position. Okay, how we can access this? Very easy. In the code, first we need to find the part. Which part? Moving part, right? So in the first line, we already defined, right? So that's the part we are going to refer to. So moving part dot position, right? Capital P and then tab and then finish the line, right? So very easy. That's the start position. And for the target position, of course, we need to define it. Target position. Sorry, here it is POSI position. Okay. Although this is a variable I named, but I still want the word make sense. Okay, start position. So for the start position, of course, in my case, I want to create an elevator, just I showed in the demo. So I want them to move up and down, okay? And some parts they are moving also horizontally. I'll talk about later. But right now, I want to create a part just moving up and down, okay? So I will start from start position, then plus a number. This number will be the movement along the y direction, right? So we're in a workspace. Yes, we're in a workspace. Okay, so it says use local space. That means currently we are in the workspace. Okay, so this indicating moving up and down, right? So if this is a start position, then I want to move maybe 10 studs. Okay, so in that case, let's define the distance. Vector 3, because we have x, y, and z directions, so it has to be vector 3, and this is a new value. So as you can see, when you move the mouse cursor into the parentheses, you already see the Roblox Studio give you a hint, right? So x, y, and z, which you want to move, or you want to create it for this vector 3 variable. For us, x value is 0. We don't want to move to the x direction. Currently, we only want to move along the y direction. Move up to 10 studs. How about the z direction? Also 0, right? So for now. Okay, so that's a definition for the starting position and a target position. Okay. And also we need to define some details about how we're going to move this part. For example, the speed, etc. Right? So for the speed, because this is distance, we know the distance is 10, right? So from start position and move up for 10 steps. And then we need to define twin information. This is for the details. So we need to call this twin information dot new, let's say 5 second. Okay. So time, as you can see that the Roblox Studio showing the tips, the first variable you gave will be assigned as a time, right? So speed, how do we define speed? Speed equals to distance divided by the time. And this 10, that's a distance. And this 5, that's a time. So basically, when set the numbers like this, that means the speed is 10 divided by 5 equals to 2. That means 2 studs per second. That's a speed for the moving part to be moved by the tween function. Okay, so I think that's good for now. We defined some little bit of detail about this how we're going to move this part. Okay, and then remember that when we move in this part, we want moving up and down, right? Two ways. Every movement, uh, every single movement, we want to move from a lower position to the higher position, and then coming back. So we call this forward, backward, forward, backward. Okay. So we need to create the forward first. Let's call it tween forward equals to this will be our tween service. Okay, let's create this tween. So colon create. Okay, now we need to give a little bit detail how we're going to using this forward function. So forward, of course, first is which part you are going to move in using the tween function, right? So moving part is the part we are going to move it. We are going to move it, and a little bit more details is defined by this tween information. Although the tween information currently only including the time, but it could be expanded to include other detailed informations. But those are a little bit more advanced topics, so we can skip that one. I'll talk about in the future. Okay, now we need to define where you want to move this part to, right? So we need brackets to define the position. So forward means from the lower position to the higher position. So higher position, that's a target position, right? So if we define it here, that's a targeted position because, that's a higher spot, have the 10 here. So in the brackets, position, capital P equals to target position, right? Let's move from lower position from a starting position to the target position. So from low to high. Okay. Now we need to define from high to low how you are going to move. Okay, so we need to define another one, local tween backward. Backward, same thing. Tween service, create, again, still moving part, tween information, little bit details, brackets, position equals to. Now remember, this is backward. That means we are moving from higher position to the lower position. So from the target position to the start position. Okay, I hope that makes sense. So position in this case should be start position because we are moving back. We are moving back to the start position. Okay, so now we need to define a function to tell how we are going to how often we are going to use this tween forward and backward. Okay, so for example, let's call it tween forward, okay, colon player. So that means we're going to call this tween forward first, okay, and then we have to wait until the tween forward, the moving part, finished. So I will wait until arrive to the target position. So we need to wait. How long we need to wait? Actually, the tween information is already determined the time, right? So remember that's 5 seconds. So what we can do is we just wait the same time. Okay, so tween information dot time so that we wait until the moving part arrive at the target position. Now we call it coming back. So tween backward, backward colon play. Same thing, we need to wait until it's coming back to the start position. So wait tween info dot time, right? Okay, and we defined this function. Then it's up to us how we're using this function, like how often, or how many times you want this moving parts moving up and down. So most time for obby game, we don't have limited time. So we want this running forever. So while true do, okay, press enter, okay, and then tween play function we just defined, right? So here, right? So basically, uh, actually the code will be running later. You will see the movement actually is from here. So while true, and it starts running this tween play function here. So tween play function will call tween forward colon play, right? So tween forward means, okay, you're create a tween service, and moving the moving part using the tween information with details. Where's the target? It's target position, right? And then after you are done, after the moving part arrive at target position, and then come back, that's where this code of lines is running for, right? So this is calling the moving part coming back and arrive at start position. Okay, so after you are done, okay, and then call the function tween play again. So in that case, we're moving up and down forever. So, okay, let's take a look if let's create what do we want. Okay, so let's drop from the floor. Okay, that's good. And then we can click play here. So we'll play in this camera right in front of us. Okay, as you can see, yes. Now like serving as an elevator, right? Okay, it's moving up and down. Okay, cool. Okay, now I want to show you how we can change the code, modify the code so that to achieve a different movement, basically the movement along the different direction. Okay, so let me duplicate this part first. Okay, and drag it out. Okay. Okay, so this part is the first one is moving up and down. This one I want to move maybe along the X direction. Okay, so red colored. Okay, let's open the script. Okay, maybe let's just say maybe 20 along the X direction. For okay, for the Y direction, yes, we can still we can just set as a 0 for now. Let's just take a look. What is they how they behave? Okay, click to play here. Oh, okay. Okay, so I need to the part. Okay, by default the player doesn't move with the part. Okay, so you have to keep walking so that don't fall off. This is kind of interesting for the RB game, but I want to change, lift it up. Okay, so maybe for this one I lift it a little bit higher, for this one a little bit higher, so you can see. Okay, so I want this one is a little bit larger. Okay, and this second one, I want to change it to 30. Give it more distance. Okay. So, oh, okay. So you have to walk with it. Ooh, otherwise it's challenging. Yeah, yeah. Keep it on the moving part. Yep. So this create a interesting effect. Okay. Now let me stop the game. Okay, and you can also change the Y direction at the same time. Okay, so they will moving along the X and the Y direction at the same time. Okay, so it will create a effect a lot like this. Yeah, as you can see, this is the second part, right? So moving along the X direction and also along the Y direction. Okay, yeah. Now you can create a different movement if you combine them together. So it will create a very interesting, challenging for your obby game. Oh, I dropped off. Okay, I think yeah, that's all I want to talk about. You can play with these three numbers here. Those are, as I mentioned, the first value that's for the x direction, second value is for the y direction, and third value is for the z direction. Okay, and there's a distance, and this one is time. So your speed equals to distance divided by the time, right? So this is the distance and this is the time. Okay, yeah, that's all I want to show how we can create the moving part. And you can combine them together and create the obby game. Yeah, for your own game. Okay, thank you. Bye.